Hello everybody, welcome to Everyman Prepping. Hope you're having a great day. And yes, you need to be stockpiling food. If you haven't started, you really need to get started fast. If you've been doing it, keep doing it and keep stocking that food up in your house, in your pantry, your garage, closets, bedrooms, wherever you've been putting it. For the foreseeable future, food is never going to be cheaper than it is now. We know that through inflation. I believe you should be shooting for a year. I know that sounds out of the question, outrageous, but if you do it slowly, a little bit over time, every week, every month, you can get there. And then you just rotate it. That way you always have a year on hand and you rotate in your stock of supplies. Nothing ever goes bad. Most things last about a year, and you can put them in long-term storage with Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers, and they'll last even longer. But let's talk about what we need. First, I think you need to start with grains and oats. So you need, your rice, your oatmeals, your flour, your wheat berries. Wheat berries are great because they store forever with in a Mylar bag and oxygen absorber. Then you have your own hand mill. You crush them yourself to get flour. It's a whole grain, so it's a whole wheat. It has some protein in it. It's very good. But you can also just store regular flour from the store in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. In fact, this is what I've done. I don't suggest you do it, but I've opened up recently a 10-pound bag of flour from 2 years ago that I had in a Mylar bag with an oxygen absorber, and it's perfectly fine. There weren't weevils in it. It wasn't rotted or spoiled. It was great. It worked fine. So flour lasts a long time, and if you're making it, using it for bread, tortillas, or whatever you're using it for, you can figure about a pound of flour is about a loaf of bread. So then you can do some calculations. If I want, a loaf of bread every 2 days, I need 180 loaves of bread or so. So I need 180 pounds of flour. It sounds like a ton, but it's not really that much. That's 18 bags of flour at the 10-pound bag. So start working your way towards that. Seal them up in, big 5-gallon Mylar bags. You can put about 40 pounds in each one of those. And start sealing them up and start storing them. You can do it. Better ways, like I said, you can do the wheat berries. Another great thing with wheat berries is you can sprout them for micronutrients. Because you're not going to have a lot of the nutrients out there. You can sprout them, eat the greens, great micronutrients. That's what I'll suggest. You get multivitamins. Make sure you have your multivitamins. Vitamin C, D, multivitamins. Because, if you run out of food, can't go to the grocery store, you're going to be hurting on a little bit of the nutrients. So make sure you have those. So moving on from there, let's go to fruits and vegetables. Most of this is going to be canned. Your canned fruits, your canned vegetables, either from your garden and you canned it yourself or you bought it at the store. But you're going to need fruits and vegetables. So look at how much you want to eat of those. You can freeze some, put them in the freezer, but it's always great to have canned because it's shelf stable and you can put it anywhere in your house. A good vegetable that is good for long-term storage that's not canned is dried corn. You can buy dried corn from, not, you can get feed store quality. Some people do that, but I buy organic. You can get it from supply houses in your area, co-ops and stuff. But just get the dried corn. Put it in a Mylar bag, oxygen absorbers, 5-gallon bucket, lasts forever. And then when you want to eat it, you can grind it, make in cornmeal, polenta, or whatever. Or you can just soak it in water, and it'll rehydrate and boil it. It'll be regular corn. So dried corn is a great thing to have. Lasts almost forever, like I said. So think about that for your vegetables as well. And then you're going to need protein, of course. So we have our grains, fruits, and vegetables, and we need a protein source. So what you have there is meats and beans, basically. So your meat is canned meats, whether you buy them, which are very expensive right now, or you can it yourself. Get into pressure canning. Read about it. Buy a pressure canner if you can. Cheapest thing out there is chicken. Easiest thing to do. If you get the boneless, it's even easier. Get like boneless thighs or breast, wherever you want. You fill a quart jar. You fit up a couple pounds in each one. Can it for 90 minutes in a pressure canner. Take it out. You're done. Rinse and repeat. Figure out how much your family eats. 1 quart could last my family or your family, I have theoretical family, 3 days. So how many days of chicken do I want? Multiply it out. You make sure, I've been harping on people getting chickens. You're going to have eggs, great source of protein. Make sure you have your chickens ready to go, give you eggs. When the chickens stop laying eggs, you have a meat source. Eat that hen. It's not a pet at that point, it's food walking around. So, they stop laying eggs, they become a food source. Make sure you have a way of reproducing your chickens as well. You have an incubator, you've read about it, you know how to do that. You have a rooster so they can fertilize them, all that good stuff. Next, along with moving that, is your beans. So you got your pinto beans, navy beans, lentils. All the beans are good. They have very high in protein. If you want the most bang for your buck in storage, look at lentils. They're small, they're flat. You can almost put 40 pounds in a 5-gallon bucket, so there's not a lot of air in between each bean. So lentils, red lentils taste better, to my opinion, to green lentils. They're packed with protein, tons of nutrients inside of them. And like I said, if you pack them right, they're going to last 20, 30 years. So look at the beans in there. Lastly, so that's basically your protein sources that you have. I know other people have cows and goats, but I'm thinking for the everyman, what can everyone do? You can do canned meats, canned chicken. You can buy it, and then you can also do the beans. Beans are very easy to do. You're gonna need some fats. This is oils and butter. Butter doesn't last forever. It's not too shelf stable. You need refrigerator space. But oil, figure out how much oil you use, whether it be olive oil, vegetable oil. I suggest olive oil because it's not a seed oil, much better for you. Olive oil lasts at least a year from when you buy it, in my opinion. And so figure out how much olive oil you use, calculate it out for a year, and slowly buy a year's worth, and then rotate through it. You're going to need that oil, though. And you can use olive oil in your, I know you can't really bake with it all the time, so you're going to need some vegetable oil on the side for baking as well. You run out of oils, you're going to have to go to lard. So you're going to have to figure out how to render fat into lard. Figure that out now. Watch YouTube videos on it. But save the fat from your meat now. Render it down. Make lard. Lard is very stable, lasts a while, and it can be a fat you're going to need. Lastly, dairy. Dairy is very hard unless you have cows and goats around, right? To get the milk out of. But as opposed to that, you can have the powdered milk, the freeze-dried or dried milk. Figure out how many gallons of milk you go through. Look on the package for the powdered milk, and go through that and figure out, well, I need 20 pounds of powdered milk or whatever it is, and start accumulating it. Lasts a long time as well. You can repackage it into Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers if you want, but get yourself some powdered milk for your dairy. There's also you can buy some freeze-dried cheeses too and stuff. They're very expensive from Oxen Farms and Mountain House and those people, cheese powder and things like that. But if it comes down to it and you're needing this for your survival, I think you should just concentrate on the powdered milk. That's probably the best thing to do. So that's the categories I have right now, what you should be stockpiling. So once again, for reviewing, you got your grains, wheat, beer. Oh, I almost forgot beans. You can sprout your beans for micronutrients. I know a lot of people are banging away on their keyboard saying you need micronutrients, you're going to die because you don't have fresh vegetables and all that. You can sprout your beans and sprout your wheat berries. And those of you that in a milder climate in the winter, in the southern regions, New Mexico, all of Arizona, parts of California, the South, you can grow stuff in the winter. So grow your leafy vegetables. Grow your lettuces, your kale, your Swiss chard, your fava beans. Grow all that, and you have, fresh vegetables throughout the year. So don't forget about that. So once again, go back to this. I kind of went on a tangent there. You got your grains. You got your fruits and veggies. You got your protein, which is going to be your meat, canned meats, and your beans. And then you have your dairy, which will be your powdered milk. So we'll start working off that list. Get a year's worth. It seems daunting at first, but make yourself a spreadsheet. Figure out what you need, how much, and start knocking it out. Because you're going to need this coming next year, and it's going to be a safety security net for you. You're going to be a lot less stressful knowing when problems are happening out there, you have backup for your family. You're going to be safe at home. You're not going out into the wild to try to acquire all this stuff. You're going to be safe in your home with your supplies ready to go. So in the comments below, if I've forgotten something or you want to add something to the stockpile list, please do so. We can all share and learn more. And until next time, keep your ear to the ground and head on a swivel.